ESEA.
Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. T-Squared and Ryu hanging out at the Xfinity Zone. Want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Mountain Dew, for making this season awesome. Go ahead and check out that link down below if you're an aspiring CSGO player and want to try to make it in the world today. And we just saw Team Liquid split games with Immortals, and now we're going to see another match that has serious implications towards those playoffs. But also, guys, Intel Extreme Masters is going down, and I know you guys are excited for it. It's happening November 19th and 20th at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. So make sure you join us for some stadium level competition in CSGO and League of Legends. And it's IEMOakland.com. So let's take a look at the standings and talk a little bit about all of the possibilities, right? So many possibilities.
Yeah, so 26 matches is what each team will play this season. So when we're looking at teams like 6th, 7th, and 8th, you know, there's a lot of maps to play, especially for Renegades. You know, they've only played 18 so far. And they have, I think, a fairly soft schedule the rest of the way through.
Yeah, it's CLG, Selfless Energy.
Yeah, so not Selfless, but so yeah, so they have the opportunity.
And
to
Winterfox, sorry.
Yeah, so they have the opportunity to secure a bunch of wins, and you know, they're literally the way that sorts is by the amount of wins. So it's a little bit misleading at times, but we did see Energy on the other stream today. I think took 2 wins over Splice. They're now at 15 wins. Liquid and Echo Fox tied at 12, and Renegades, I think after the maps tonight, will be up at 13. So it'll actually have, they'll actually be above Liquid if that's the case, you know, with 13 wins.
So the big thing is this Energy versus Renegades match that's eventually going to take place, because Energy, they just beat Splice. They have Renegades and Optic left over. Echo Fox has CLG and Immortals, and then Renegades has CLG, Selfless Energy, and Winterfox. So it's going to be absolutely insane. But let's take a look at that Renegades roster and see if these 5 can put it together. Ryu, walk us through these guys.
Yeah, so you've got AZR, or appropriately pronounced, I think. And I actually was with a couple Australians, so I'm going to butcher this and feel even worse about it. But it's Azza is the way that I think Chad says it. JKS, Yam, Yustillo, and Ricky. Ricky's been playing very well for them. Has brought... It was interesting. I thought Yam was a pretty good op, but I think Ricky is a better op, and we've seen the impact that he has had so far this season has been tremendous. And then I think JKS is one of the best players in terms of like raw mechanical skill, talent, recoil control, etc. He's just a little bit inconsistent, but when he's on, he can carry them to a win. And they've had a really impressive run so far this season. All
right, and let's take a look at the CLG roster. This is the team that Renegades is obviously going to be going up against. And who's going to step it up for these guys here, Ryu? Who has to be it? Kusta? We were talking about him yesterday.
So, yeah, so I talked a little bit about Kusta yesterday because I wanted to see him start opping a bit more. They did move to a little bit of a double op setup on the CT sides, and he has started to op T side. But I think the player that has to step up for them on a map like Dust 2, I'd like to see Cbble come out and, you know, kind of pug. It's a little easier. It's less of a mental map. It's less tactical and strategic, so you can just leverage your aim if you're a player like Cbble that has really good aim. And then I think Reltuck, a.k.a. Cutler, a.k.a. the Apocalypse, I think CT side opping is going to be really big, especially going up against Ricky. They played Dust 2, and Ricky's hit that cross shot, I think, like 2 or 3 times against every opponent that they've played where you pick through the mid doors. He's really good at it. He's got a good feel for the timing. And so those are the 2 guys I think for CLG need to step it up for them to win tonight.
All right, well, the players are ready to get this one started, so we're going to toss this on over to the casters. And we got our boy, the Bears and Blue.
Bears.
The best mustaches in the game.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing all right.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Hanging in there?
I conditioned my mustache today.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hair. You got to condition it.
I'm getting ready to shave mine.
Well, no. Then how am I supposed to support it all alone?
Listen, we've been through this long journey of the mustache.
You got to keep it going.
I made it through ESL 1 New York.
You have to see to the end of the journey.
I might keep like the beard part going. I don't know about this though. This is like getting annoying because it's like there's like hair. It keeps like messing up my lips or something like that.
Oh, it
feels weird. It feels like I'm like eating hair every other day or something like that.
Sometimes you just got to eat hair, Blue. You just got to eat a little bit of hair.
All right. Well, we are going into our match here. Once again, it is the Renegades versus CLG. It goes live on Cobblestone. The Renegades have had a great season. They were away for a week or 2 ago, I believe, as they were in China.
Oh,
playing in a little old event over there, but they're back now, and we'll get to see how they will close out their season as they had quite the barnstormer week. We go back like 3 or 4 weeks, and they upset against a lot of the big teams. Team Liquid, they 2-0'd them. They 2-0'd SK. That was at 16-0 we had a while ago, and they've been looking good. But here on the pistol round, Cutler waiting for them. He's going to get 2 quick kills. Yustillo and Azur both getting knocked out of there. we're going to see him pretty quickly fall back outside, too. Yam trying to move him for the trade. He actually is going to get it. That kid looked a bit weird. Still shutting down Cutler, though. And we're going to see the Renegades off of this one shift over towards an A hit.
Yeah, the Apocalypse just giving them 2 bullets. It's like, ooh, headshot. But the Renegades, decided it was a little fake. They have the bomb already towards the A bomb site. And now CLG has to play the retake game because the bomb's going to get down right now.
What was that? Anyway, Yam is going to move in here, too. He does manage to dink Ethan down at 6 HP, and CLG were looking great at the beginning, but all of a sudden their hold is not as secure anymore. It's even now. Yam finding the kill onto Ethan. He's going to funnel some of these CTs out from their hiding spots, and Yam with another pickup, shutting down Hayes. All of a sudden, he's sitting on 3, and he single-handedly forged his team's way back into this matchup here, and he moves out for a 4th. On the cusp of the ace as well, since his teammate just fell. Kus is the last one standing, and Yam shuts it down. Beautifully played on the round from Yam, gets the ace, and the Renegades will start very convincingly 1-0.
Yeah, that was an amazing round by Yam, and CLG started off great right here. Like Coulter was just Cutler with 2 easy picks, and then here's kind of the problem. CLG went 1 by 1 by 1. Instead of working together, send crossfires at the at that point. You just can't do that. Use your numbers, Blue.
Yeah.
Play with numbers. Crossfire, please.
Let him know, man.
I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna let him know. Oh, I'm gonna let him know.
Message him right now.
I'm gonna call them up. Be like, hey, come on. You're up in numbers.
Send him a text message. You guys are in the same neighborhood, right?
Yeah, I'll stop by the house. A little ring-a-ding.
So the Renegades, off to that good start, of course, and taking things slowly in the second round. No reason to rush things here. They're going to be sitting back, and CLG, the same fate, of course. They've gone for the 3-stack and the usual force-up in the second round. Just going to be picking up 5-7 armors for pretty much everybody except for Cutler, who goes for the scout buy. Now waits for the eventual push into this site. Ethan being pressured first. Some damage going on. Come on, someone peek the other one. As both of them are just having a little bit of a warm-up there. 80-80ing back and forth, but nobody's going to find anybody at the beginning of this round, it seems.
A little bait and switch set up by Naughty. He's just chilling back, and Kus decides to fall out of that positioning on the platform B. Renegades just going to kind of chill out a little bit. Still trying to see if they can pick someone off. They're going to Molotov that platform, forcing Kus to just play a little more passive in the stairs. Now they're going to take control of this drop area. Azza making his move.
Moving in, and Azza actually going to get a bit greedy too. Walks in front of his teammate to get the kill onto Ethan. Yeah, I'm finishing up the second one. Slow and steady is kind of going to win the race here for the guys on the Renegades, although Cutler is going to make things a bit difficult as he chops off one of the members of the Renegades' side. That's Ustillo getting knocked out here, but the rest of them are pretty secure. And for Hayes and Cutler, they know they have no chance of a retake, so they're just going to fall back, head out here and save their guns. They have some sort of power to use on that third round.
Yeah, CLG, it's a pretty good map to buy on the second round. There's a lot of little corners, nooks, and stacks that you can do. But CLG decided to play more of like a long-range kind of fighting where pretty much Renegades just kind of walked up and just outshot them, hopped around to control that drop area. And once you get control of that drop area, it's really easy to start taking over that B bomb site and then pinching the players in B.
And so the Renegades obviously coming off of that one, looking good to hold up their start here. Well, they haven't dropped these 2 guns, of course. The third round, in theory, should be a little bit easier as long as they don't run head first into Cutler's scout there, which you could be able to pick up quite a few shots with. The Renegades, though, on this third round, taking minimal losses themselves and losing really like 1 or 2 players there. Their money's going to be nice and secure. They'll be able to build it up once again as they're looking to get some extra cash this time with the 3 SMGs coming into the mix. And hey, what do you know? It's another direct play into the B halls there in the early round. So they're going to head right towards it. No reason to differentiate themselves from the previous rounds as well, things have been working good up to this point. And this time, well, they're just going to rush right into it. CLG tried to go for an A stack, but that is obviously not going to play out so well. Cutler's already dead, and they've already got site control.
That was a nice move by Renegades to use the spawns and take control of that broken wall area. They flashed over the wall and then the Molotov the end of the platform area. So whoever's in that area had to fall back, lined up right in the crosshairs of Team Renegades, and just an easy take.
Yeah, very straightforward indeed. And CLG, unfortunately, not off to the best of starts here, but in the next round is where things are going to get a bit more interesting, as they will be going for their first big investment. And we'll get to see here, too, how the whole op drama that's been surrounding this team is going to play out. Whether Kusta is going to be stable with it, or whether we're still going to see the current member from CLG that's chosen to pick it up be working with it here into this round. Azza, though, finding Hayes out, knocking him down inside of that mid-connector. Kusta, though, pretty well secured behind these steps. I don't think anyone else is going to get knocked out. But interestingly, the one player they do kill is the one that was the most well-armed here. He was the player with like armor and everything. The rest of these guys, I mean, this doesn't really matter if they save. These are like, Ku said, literally nothing, and Sabrosa has a 5-7.
Yeah, and CLG's low on money, so it looks like they're going to rifle it all up. It's not too bad on this map if you're able to counter flash and time your smokes to where it forces Team Renegades to rush through the smokes, and I think CLG will have a better chance of winning this round. Looks like JKS is going to throw a little cheeky smoke here.
The Renegades are also actually going to kick up the heat this time as they go just right for the take. It was more of a standard style of pace here up to this point, but now they're just rushing right up for it. Problem is, Kusta's waiting for it. He's going to grab that first kill, but he will immediately get traded out. A lot of SMG still in check here too, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Right now, it's not really either. Cutler's down at 3 HP, and Ethan is at 27 though, so the CTs are being rather cautious, being held back, being held away from the action here to a big degree. The Molotov restricting their movement even more so. They've got them all just boxed right in, and there you go. Azur walks right up, grabs 2 out of the final 3 kills, and Yam is going to find the 3rd. The Renegades easily grab themselves a first gun round and put CLG in the backside of this one. The Renegades holding on to a nice lead and looking good to hold the lead for quite some time now.
Yeah, CLG looked like they were caught a little off guard. Kusta was kind of alone in that bomb site. I would like to see a couple more flashes. You see smokes hopping over the walls. You see flashes coming over. In order to stop the rush, you have to really just disrupt that terrorist team. Toss a bunch of flashes, and Sabrosa getting off a pick right on Ricky. But a nice exchange. Now CLG's up by 2 people.
Hazed. Is going to try to hold the line there too with the deagle. Yam just walks right up and tells them what's what. Picks up 2 quick kills. And even though this isn't a 2 versus 2, the Renegades seem to have really good control of things. Unfortunately for Ethan and Kusa, there's just not a lot they can use to really even get back into this site, let alone clutch it out. So they weren't actually stacked in the drop room a moment ago, but it looks like they're proceeding in. They may actually attempt this, which I don't imagine is going to work out super great for these CTs. The flashbang over, JKS is going to know that they're out. He can hear Ethan stomping away over there off of the balcony, and obviously since he goes down, well, it seems like that's all that's gonna happen. Kusta's gonna be like, all right, well, you died, so I'll see you later, bro. He's gonna just rush back over here to the B site and tuck away in the backside here to save that rifle.
Yeah, nice eco by CLG, getting some kills what they can. In that 2-on-2, it was possible to win. Nadi was a little farther away from Kusta, so they couldn't really exchange kills in that situation.
I appreciate you calling him Naughty, by the way.
Naughty. I mean, it spells, look at Naughty, right there, Naughty.
We could have, and we can have, at least for like 13 seconds, a very long discussion about how just absolute bullcrap it is that like I am forced to spell this player's or say this player's name backwards.
No.
If you spell your name like that, and you want me to say it the other way around, that triggers me so hard.
It's okay, but Blue, it's going to be okay.
The worst thing is like they don't even tell me if it's one way or the other. So when this guy was down in Premiere last season, like I kept saying it either way because I didn't know if Twitch chat was like trolling me, trying to tell me if it was the other way around or if it was. And I don't think he cares. Like if you want your name to be Ethan, spell it as Ethan like a normal human being. Anyway, entries coming in. Ricky's going to find that first kill. Ethan and Kusta responding with 2 of their own pickups. Ethan's going to find another one. He's actually dominating up on top of this tree boost spot right now. He's held them back for a little bit, and he's got the man advantage going here for CLG. However, he's got to be careful. That really weird Molotov. It's burning like 3 different places at once. The smoke comes in, though. It's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer here, but he was relying on the cavalry to keep himself alive. That's Cutler and Hayes moving back into the main doorway. JKS and Yam are also here too, but they're going to boost Hayes up on this tree spot now. Not sure if they're going to be able to hear it or not, but JKS I think is also being boosted up too. The thing is, Hayes doesn't see it because he's behind the tree, so he's going to move up, and JKS, he grabs that kill onto Hayes. It's a 2v2 now. Ethan finding another pickup against JKS, so it all falls to Yam, but Ethan already knows where he is playing from. 50 seconds on the clock. He's got plenty of time to work with this. Yam does push himself back over here up onto the broken wall and starts to fall back here, but now, where does he take this? Where does he decide to work his way towards? As CLG are going to have free reign to move in and try to clear this out and get the intel themselves.
It's a nice move by Naughty by staying alive and not, handing out his position or kill, or death, I should say, and it caused, he got 3 kills off the bat, and they had to look for him, they had to wait for him. Now Cutler, nice shot through the wall. CLG putting a round on the board. Welcome to the game, CLG. You needed that one.
That's a door, by the way, not a wall.
Wall, door, I mean, technically, this can be a wall. You know what? It's a wall shot, okay? You can say whatever you want.
It's a wall bang.
Wall bang. Wall banging.
I'm not letting you win tonight.
You don't have to let me win, Blue.
Oh.
I'm glad you're feeling better by getting this backwards name off your chest, We live in America. We read left to right, okay? I'm going to see Naughty.
I feel like that's a better name, to be honest.
Naughty.
Like his real name's Ethan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because that would have been the tilt point right there if his real name wasn't even Ethan. But right, like that's cool. Because like your name spelled backwards is Naughty. So why not call yourself Naughty and then just like, I don't know.
But you might tell him. He's never know.
We need an interview with him right now on this topic.
We'll do it after the match. How about that?
This is like
Blue?
a really important discussion.
It's definitely important. Maybe we'll have more insight in the future. But now it looks like Renegades is going to try to take control of his drop. Azur and Ustillo just push through the smoke. It looks like the flash and peek over Sabrosa. But he dodges a flash, peeks by himself and gets picked off. Now Renegades have Ring to just take over drop and really hold this B bomb site on counter jamming.
Ethan going to be holding things here too, just outside of the Molotov. Unfortunately, just outside of the threshold for it to spread onto him. So that Molotov essentially does nothing except for keeping these players outside. Good pop flash. It is not going to affect him though. Ethan, good movement. He actually gets outside of there just in time and then follows it up with one of his own pop flashes. Unfortunately, when it is time to battle, he gets knocked out pretty quickly and Ustillo is just going to find 2 quick entries again. CLG not being allowed to do all that much here. And Cutler placed in the backside. He's actually at 36 HP after the peek from Ustillo. He's hungry. He's hunting for more. He's rapping around here. And he does get that 3rd kill. Hayes, the last man standing in the alleyway. But they even look for him. Nice shot from Hayes. That was pixel perfect there on the JKS's head. The Yam is going to push back out of those doors and quickly trade him out, preventing any saves from the CLG side. And now I believe that resets them too.
Yeah, Sabrosa, he heard 2 flashes at the same time, so most likely you know 2 people's going to be up there. And that angle, I think it's one of the easiest angles on this map, is hitting that shot where he repeaked. And so it was a pretty risky move, and you try to out-aim them, but it was, you know, just, you can't do that in the Pro League. You just, it's just too risky. You have to play the safer play. Give it up, maybe retake the drop in the mid-round.
Ooh. Hazed. Fountain standing in the doorway there. Easy shot for JKS early on in the round here as he picks up Hazed, knocking him out. And the rest of the Renegades here too. I mean, there's no reason at all for them to really just force the issue on the aggression. CLG have a nice post up there in drop room too. They more than likely will lose at least 1 player if they play that correctly, so they're just going to slow push it, and this is working out perfectly. Look at it. The first kill on Broken Wall flushes out Ethan, so Ethan's not able to support his teammate. Then Sabrosa gets knocked out because he's alone in drop room, and then Ustillo just pushes out Broken Wall. He's got an isolated 1 versus 1, and there you go. It all just falls down like dominoes.
Playing that. Have you even played that game before, Dominoes?
Yeah.
Pretty cool game.
I was once 6 years old, so I have played Dominoes.
It's not a young game. I've seen many people of all ages play Dominoes. It's fun. It's a fun game. You know, it's an old pastime.
Is that what you guys do at the CLG Red House? Let's play Dominoes?
Not yet. No, we haven't played Dominoes. You know what? Maybe in the future, Blue. Maybe
Yeah.
in the future. I got a question about the Molotov, though.
What?
Wouldn't you think the flames would be higher? It's literally like half a foot off the ground, and it's like it's just all it's hurting is my shoes. Just burning my shoes.
Have you ever like stood near a fireplace?
That's true. It hurt the ankles, but is it enough to kill me? I don't know. If I stood in the fire for a while, I'd have burned feet,
like,
but I'm not gonna die.
Have you ever had like a fire pit before?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's powerful. Like, that's like literally like it's like flammable liquid in a bottle, and it's just burning as you're standing in it.
It would severely burn my legs, but it wouldn't kill me, Blue. At least,
I mean,
not unless I get infected and then have to cut off my legs and get gangrene. You know, it's a whole other story.
it's a long-term effect.
Long-term effect. It's not instant like CS:GO.
Effect.
See, I want flames to be as tall as people in this. You know, it's like, look at that. It's
That's
so
pretty
small.
tall.
Look, no, it's like it's ankles. Like a little ankle flame. It's gonna hurt. Hurt a grown man or woman. I don't know. I can't tell. In armor. I mean, it might hurt up because it's armor.
It'll melt your boots.
That's good.
You
Yeah.
get like rubber poisoning or something like that if that's actually a thing. Azur, though, flirts his way in through drop room, missing the entire match. Sabrosa responds with one of his own pickups there on the pistol, and still holding, actually. It's going to force the Renegades away. They call off the initial hit to reapply utility, but they're actually going to be shifting away back towards the mid-connector and now trying to make this into an A hit instead. Really impressive work there from CLG just to do that off of really 1 player alone. That's there's going to be Sabrosa doing a lot of that, and now more of them rotate in, and Cutler sitting behind this pole. Look, they're not even doing that much. Just these passive holds here, and the Renegades are scared for some reason. They're up 7-1. There's no reason for them to be this passive about it. Regardless, though, it seems to be working out as they move in, picking up Cutler there. Ricky finding another one against Sabrosa. And for these final 2 kills here, too, they find Ethan out. So the plan works. I will correct myself. I'm being very judgmental in this match.
It's okay.
I need to calm
okay.
it down.
I mean, you gotta, you know, not judge so much. And as you watched as CLG played out the round, they over-rotated. They knew Renegades was hitting that bomb site. Again, you see too many one-on-one peaks, or at least three-on-one peaks, and that's kind of scenario where where's the crossfires, where's the stacks? Like, make them aim at 2 different targets at once. It's always one-on-ones with a CLG, and it's hurting them. You know, it's like it's easy to gun down one person if you have 2 more of your teammates hitting them.
So we will see the Renegades here. They're going to push their way up, waiting through A long, and they still got these 2 players pushing out over towards the Broken Wall approach, since that's been like their go-to strat for almost the entire half so far, but they want to keep that illusion alive. So now the Pop Flash rolls in. Cutler, he's going to be able to get out of there. He does not know the scope of which they are moving in just yet, though. As they move around the corner, Cutler's going to find one, but he still is up way too close for Cutler to be able to recover in time with that op. He was also the only site defender, too. So that's pretty much going to already clear things out for them. Yam, he's got a post-up spot just over here below the balcony, so he's ready to punish any of these players from CLG that push out from here. And yeah, I honestly think that this may be a safe call on the 4v4. There's not a lot that they can use to get back into the site. Like, they've got smokes. That's about it, though. And, I mean, the time's already working against them, so it's just not really going to be worth it here.
They have plenty of utility. If they had, like, a retake strat where they smoke off this mid area and able to flash over the wall and then sneak in mid after the flashes, I think that retake was pretty possible. I mean, they were... Bomb tick was not that long in the round, and Hayes taking out Yam, so you know, I feel like they could have gone for it, but I guess they're playing... super safe route. I don't agree with it too much. You know, 4-on-4, you got to try to go for it.
But it doesn't pan out. At the very least, they're able to trade some of this in. And Hazard, well, that's a bit unfortunate. He's hoping that one of those players is hugging the tight corner there, but definitely not. And Hayes is going to get a shot to the back. So at least they drop quite a few of the players. Here's the problem, though. See the money in the Renegades. Do you think they care at all about that? Probably not. They have so much cash. They're rich.
They're pretty rich, and they could buy for at least another 3-4 rounds if they lose. And so Renegades in commanding lead this half. The CLG is going to be sending 4 people towards A, but Renegades, they're splitting it up. They're going to try to make that illusion you just said of smoking off B, maybe thinking that they're going to take. But Cbble, he's boosted up, so he's in a pretty good position on trying to find some intel here. He could peek this corner against Yam, and he does. Give him a little
tap.
Little love tap.
Hazard is going to shut down Kusa, though, to respond to that, but you still have the pressure. Here's the thing, though, again, it's just rolling into the A site right now, and they will see, though, the defense is able to catch this in time, so they're not fully committed to that B site. Hazard has a mean flank on its way, though, so they got to be careful of this one, but Ethan holding up there on the ramp, he picks up the kill on Ricky, and actually, I think they're going to call this bomb away to regroup with Hazard and just push into the B site instead. Smart, considering he cleared this out a long time ago, but you'd think the other guys would have pulled back. However, this hit on the A side was going good up to this point. Now they've called it back there in the 2v2, and Azur, he's going to hold in this position here, waiting for the CTs to push in so that he can secure JKS to get that bomb on the ground.
Nadi has plenty of utility to work with, too, so if they can act pretty fast, they know that a person's behind the bomb site, as the plant right now, but they're giving time for Renegades to reposition themselves. So now Azur picks up Nadi with full utility. You got to throw some smokes and some flashes. They know you're going to be coming in through at least a connector or drop area. I mean, so it's not that much of a risk to toss some smokes and flashes.
And with that, the Renegades now still dominating this first opening half, 10-1. The CLG players here are going to just go for the... they're gonna go for their pistol armor buys, but that's pretty much it. There's not any utility here. They just have the two flashbangs sitting on Cbble, and that's it. So not really anything at all to try and hold it back. And the Renegades know this. They're gonna dive right in. That's unfortunate, Cbble. He didn't even see Ustillo. Look at this from Ustillo just rolling in there. But yeah,
it's all one-on-ones. It's literally all one-on-one kills. Or 2-on-1s.
I mean, did Cbble get flashed? Because he looked like he didn't even see Ustillo going over in there.
I didn't see the flash sign above his head.
Yeah.
So I think
he literally... How did you not see it?
I think as soon as he looked up, the guy was already behind him, so it was like one of those perfect moments.
I mean, maybe he was just banking on, like, them not checking for him, but they're gonna check that.
I mean,
I doubt he was thinking that.
I think it was the timing thing. Just the timing of him just, like, looking up. He's already jumped off behind him, and then he's like, wait, I heard a footstep. Oh, I'm already dead.
It's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Well, Cutler actually does a pretty good job of, at the very least, doing some more damage to the Renegades. The problem is again, though, yeah, like, just go right back to the money issue. Finally, we're going to see a pause from CLG, but this seems to be coming in a bit late, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, you you only have one timeout, so I guess they maybe want to save for T side. But I mean, you're down 1 to 11. It is a T side map.
Isn't it one timeout per half?
No, it's one time.
Oh, it's just one timeout.
In the majors, it's 2 per match or something like that.
I'm used to
keep changing.
I'm used to the new
rules.
Ones from New York now is my problem.
Yeah. So
that's intense, dude. There's like pauses every 2 or 3 rounds now.
Yeah. So that definitely changes the momentum of the game. CLG, it's not. They're putting themselves in bad positions all the time. They, as we said before, they're always taking the long range battles. There's no guesswork for team when they hit the bomb sites. It's always like they're always peeking, or always being peeked on. So they know when they're entering the bomb site or when they're checking for spots, because CLG literally is like, hey, I'm over here, shoot at me. Hey, I'm behind this rock, shoot at me. There's no hiding from CLG. There's no baits except for on some ecos when they have pistols. If you do it with a rifle, you have a lot more success.
Well, the Renegades still with a strong lead here, and they are going to line up their hits.
Oh, the nip smoke.
Let's see. He's looking for it. There you go. They're over the top, and they're going to rush over towards that site. Raining down like acid rain.
Acid rain.
Probably not at all.
Welcome to LA, everybody, where there's acid rain once it rains once in 3 months.
Cutler, though, with a nice dip kill on Azur, taking him down to knock him out, and Hayes with the second one, too. So the Renegades try to throw this fake, but it fails horribly, unfortunately. Now it's all of a sudden into 2v4. They've got this Molotov worked out, but Cbble peeking out for the main doorway. He finds Ricky, and you've got JKS, too, who actually does trade on Cbble, who, I correct myself, was back over there by the balcony at the main doorway. But then JKS moving in here, too. He's alone. He's got the 1v3 to work with. Ethan up on that balcony there, too. Hasn't dropped down yet, so they've got a bit of an element of surprise with that. But JK will be taking his time as he wraps around the corner here, hunting for at least 1 or 2 of these guys that may be hiding out. But grabs that first kill, tries to transfer the spray. Kusta is going to deny it, though. And finally, after the pause, CLG, they will find a second round for themselves. Took long enough.
Good shots by CLG. Nice patience in that 3-on-1, just not giving him a chance to get any more kills. I mean, he does picked up 1 at the end, but Kusta's right there to exchange the kills. More of that, you'll see more success. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, with the Renegades, the lead they have, you'd think like all these players would have fantastic scorelines with fragging power, right? If you open to the scoreboard for a second, it's not the case at all. You got everybody over at least 10 kills, but then somehow Ricky's down at like 2 and 8. Somehow that's happened. It's one of those situations where I don't even think you blame him for it. It's more like he's just probably been in the back for a lot of these takes, so they haven't even really needed him since the direct pushes from the Renegades have been so successful to begin with, which is a telling sign of CLG here really needing to step up.
Yeah, and then still with a nice just ninja play right there.
That was so quick. Look at that. 4. Like, we only saw 2 of those kills, but 4 of them happened.
Instantly. Everyone just died all of a sudden, and now it's up to Naughty to make a huge play. I mean, he doesn't. But, yeah.
Always direct to Bears.
Yeah, I mean, you had it. It hurts. It hurts. You know, like the time that you don't check that corner where you still was, and it's like, oh, he's there. What do you know? That's unfortunate.
Are you going to go back to the house tonight to give them a lecture?
Not tonight, no.
Not tonight?
Tomorrow. Playing some volleyball with them.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Play a little volleyball, maybe get a little suntan.
Oh, we don't have a
maybe
tomorrow,
have some words of advice. Be like, hey, guys, you guys could
I wouldn't offer any advice.
I wouldn't offer advice. If they ask me, I'll give it. So,
yeah.
I'm not going to be that guy.
We only do that here on the cast. We don't do that in real life. It's like that internet mentality. Well, we do see Ethan trading out 1 kill on Taz at the very least, keeping things even into the 4-on-4 scenario here now as he still tosses down the nade. It's actually a great nade. The problem is the CLG players eat it. There's good reason to it, though, as he's not going to expect that. He's able to push back in, but now Hayes very confused. He's been surrounded. Didn't even know where that spray from Yam came from. Just seemed like random bullets out of the smoke a bit. They do trade it back down to the 3 versus 3, and the rest of CLG are going to be rotating over towards that A-bomb site. Ethan and Kusta here to defend, but both of them also already lit is the problem. JKS taking his time up the ramp, picks up Kusta. The only one left they got to worry about is Ethan back over there in the corner at 33 HP here. He's going to hold for the first kill. Now down to 6 here. He's picked up the op, but unfortunately JKS wraps around the corner, takes him out of the running here, and it'll be Cutler as the LMS trying to push his way out from the shed here. Nade going over top. Not going to do that great of damage. I think about 10 to 20 on JKS there. That's about it, however. And Cutler is hoping for something. one of these players in the Renegades to peek out that he can capitalize on with the scout, but actually gets one through the wall. Not sure if he realizes that, however. And as he pushes in, he's got these guys benched, but I mean, look at how much time is wasted. Even if he does get those 2 kills, I don't think he has enough time for that defuse, so it just doesn't work out. The Renegades, they go 13-2, and with that, guys, the second half is going to be coming up in just a little bit. Stick around for more right here at the ESL Pro League as the second half continues in just a bit.
He's going to get the 1 kill in that bomb. Coming onto the side. FNX has to stay up. He gets the triple FNX. Oh my god, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this orb is still.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Soylent, Xfinity, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, The Score Esports, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
Hey, welcome back, guys, to the ESL Pro League.
Hi.
We're going,
Hey. Hey, how's it going?
we're going into the second half. Good,
13-2.
Good introduction.
It was a great introduction. It was okay.
Just
I'm
wanted
not gonna-
to calmly bring the audience back in. It's like we're welcoming them into our home.
Like,
How's
hey,
it going,
guys.
guys?
Hey, guys.
How's
How's
it
it going?
hanging?
You know, it's all right.
Welcome back. How was your trip? Did you arrive home safely? Good to know. How was your day at work? How's the weather?
Oh, okay. You know,
I have no clue what I'm saying.
Is that what you say to your roommates every time you walk in?
I would
You
hope not.
see good old Charles Watson, just like, hey, Charles, what you doing in there? You in the bathroom? Hey, Charles, hey? Just don't mind me, just walking by, Charles.
All right. So, second half, Renegades. I just lost it now. Stop.
13-2. It doesn't look too good for CLG. It's not impossible to come back.
No, they're going to come back.
It is a T-sided map. I don't know about 13-2 T-sided, but you always have to have hope. You have to believe. All right, you got to believe in yourself. Isn't that right, Blue? You got to
Yeah.
believe.
Producer's saying things in my ear. It's making me laugh more.
Well, sometimes you got to laugh. You got to laugh, Blue.
Yeah.
You got to let it out. Just let it out. Let the audience see the real you. All right,
Well, what are you saying?
the real you. I want you to let loose.
Say I'm a phony?
No, I'm not saying you're a phony. I'm saying you're a little reserved.
Okay.
I want you just to slick your hair back.
There's not a lot to flick
Open
back.
up a
It's
button.
just like,
Just open up a button. Let the stash grow out.
that's about as far back as it goes.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you have to put a lot of gel. You have to work with it. It's the memory. You just got to keep.
It was
doing
better
it for-
before, but I got a bad haircut.
No, it's not a bad haircut.
Well, it was a supercut, so.
Supercuts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like the shape of your head with it. I mean, it's like it's a great shape. So I don't think it's a bad cut. I mean, if you're looking for that kind of that head shape, hey, it's a good one. If you're not,
What are
then
you
yeah,
even
maybe
saying?
it's a backup.
Head shape.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right, so what does CLG need to do to bring this back now? Down, obviously, win the pistol round and get those first two. Don't get upset on the anti. You get the obvious stuff out of the way.
Okay. I mean, they really, if they have a go-to strat where they're able to get early picks and then just kind of fall back a little bit, just have a pick, fall back, and then re-engage a bomb site, I think that could work.
Yeah.
Especially in the B area, B drop area. Take control of drop. Make sure that Team Renegades have a hard time retaking it. Make them play on the outside, and then kind of go work the connector. Maybe come up A a couple times. Show A for a couple rounds, then fall back into a couple Bs. A, B, A, B.
Yeah. I mean, drop's going to be that big area, but the problem is that a lot of teams, I feel like drop's become even harder to take control of recently because of the way that a lot of teams have shifted into playing this more dynamic style with it. Normally, teams will either, fully commit, one player to defending it, or they'll have, two players shifting outside. As of late, I've noticed a lot of teams changing into this more, switched up strat where, one round it'll be like they'll have that committed player, but he won't always be in there. Sometimes he'll be outside watching for like a broken wall push and doing like double duty to watch out for the push from the main area too. And then they have a second player that's like the rotator between A and B. He'll also be in that window watching out for it on certain rounds, and other rounds he'll just be fully committed to A. It sort of depends on the situation and the read that the IGL has. So I think with Renegades playing to that sort of style, it's going to make it even more difficult for CLG to get control with all of the communication issues and just the general team issues that they've been having, because this roster really has not come together yet as a full 5-man, it seems.
Or maybe they could just say, you know what, let's just not even think and rush. Let's just rush. Old-fashioned. You know, when this map first came out, people just rushed everywhere.
Yeah.
They literally just rushed everywhere. They rushed B, they rushed B, they rushed B like 10 rounds in a row, and it worked like 9 rounds.
Yeah, it does. That's
Maybe
a
you
crazy
have to
thing.
catch them off guard. Maybe a traditional play won't work against Renegades.
Look at CLG. Speaking of Russian. Well, they're not Russian, they're American, but they are going to push themselves up the ramp. That was really corny. And they're going to move themselves into the A site pretty quickly. Yam's ready for this win, though. He's picked up the first kill. JKS with a second, and it's a shutdown. Everyone on the Renegades dominates CLG. Yam finds 3. I believe JKS grabs 2. Easy, lemon squeezy.
It gives me
for
a
the
couple
Renegades.
kills, maybe a pistol headshot here and there. They rushed up middle, so pretty much they got sandwiched if Renegades were to retake it, which they did, and literally got shot from 5 different angles, and they all died with headshots. It's kind of sucks. You know, you call for the rush, and they're like, yes, let's do it.
And this round's already starting off poorly. The Molotov toss in. Look at this dude still just pushes his way up. They don't even stop him. He just gets 2 kills. He tries to get for the third. I mean, like at this point, nobody's even watching the back rotation from mid connector. Just get absolutely wrecked, CLG.
All right. Let me take back my original strat here.
Ricky's still only at 4 kills, by the way.
I think what they should have done now, by looking at what just happened, is make Renegades respect them. I think that's probably the first step. Like, you're down 13-2, just stack 4 people one way and just wait for someone to push. Because honestly, Team Renegades is just rushing everywhere now. They don't care. They're showing them no respect. You got to make a team respect. You got to punch that bully in the face. You got to punch him in the face. That's what CLG has to do to the Renegades. They're the bully. And they're just bullying them around.
So he's solo. He's going to grab that first kill. Again, though, I mean, the Renegades have really no reason not to play this aggressively and just try to destroy CLG's morale wholeheartedly. But keep in mind, we have the second map still to come up, too. So if they can end this map as quickly as possible and in the most embarrassing fashion as possible, it's certainly not going to help CLG to recover as they get on that second map, shutting them down. As He's starting to move back, and he's taking down Cbble. They get up to this site at the very least, and I believe they've got the plant here. Nope, not yet. Cutler still looking to find that opportunity to be able to get that on the ground, but chasing Azure out. At the very least, they get that kill, but more trades coming in. Yam takes it down. Cutler trades it again. Just trade a Palooza at this point, but Kusa, the last man standing, he picks up 1 kill, but Yam is going to clutch the 3K on the round from him, and that is it. 16-2. The Renegades shut down CLG in this first match, and they will take it here. 1-0 for the evening. Still 1 more map to go as well.
Dust 2.
Eric, what happened?
I got a lot of, it's not strats. I wouldn't say too much of strats because it was on the CT side most of the rounds. A lot of it was just a teamwork. You're holding a site as counter-terrorist. If a T hops out, you want 2 angles being shot at him. He has to look 2 different ways, but a lot of times it's just one-on-one fights. Too many one-on-one fights. If you want to force one-on-one fights, have an AWP. Make him, out-AWP him or something like that. Not just long-range rifles over and over. And that's really, literally half the rounds. Majority of the rounds was too many one-on-one battles.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to close out this match for us. We have the analysts waiting for us over at the Xfinity Zones. Let's take it over to them to talk more about this this very riveting match.
Thanks, guys. Yes, CLG constantly losing games. Ryu?
I learned a lot in that match. I was a little disappointed to start because Blue mentioned he was going to shave his mustache. I learned that if you want to energize Blue, spell your name backwards. Blue's name backwards is Ulb.
That's true.
And he has awkward conversations with his roommate, Charles Watson, through the bathroom door.
Yes.
Those are my takeaways from
Assuming
that
that the
map.
bathroom door is closed.
Yeah, I guess in the illustration that DeBears painted for us with his words, we didn't really know if the door was closed. But yeah, I mean, that was not close at any point. I think up until the very last round, Yam had more kills on pistol rounds than Hayes and Cbble had combined.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the type of beating that was.
Speaking of that pistol round, yeah, that's where it all started for him. I mean, fantastic game from him. Ends up coming out with the ace, and that pretty much set it, set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it really. I mean, there was nothing elaborate about the Renegades game plan. It just looked like, let's see if we can get control of B platform, super standard. Let's run out there. We'll get a pick. Okay, let's see. Can we pick somebody off at drop? Oh, yes, we can. Now it's 5v3. We can go either direction, and that was it. It just didn't seem like CLG really had a kind of a cohesive plan at all, CT side. They didn't have a good response. They took a timeout, I think, like 12 or 13 rounds in. It's just too little too late.
And Yam dropped a 20 bomb as well. I'm not sure how many deaths he had. He only had 5 deaths. So that's a pretty impressive stat line, quadruple positive for him. Now, what the heck is CLG going to do in this next map to try to bounce back?
You just have to forget that ever happened. Forget that DeBears thinks that he can stand on fire and be fine and not go full 1G and just treat it like you didn't play the first map at all. Like, okay, guys, that was cool. Like, we warmed up almost a little bit and get back to it, because a beating like that, it seemed like I was hoping that last round they weren't going to rush, which they didn't, because sometimes when a team is losing that bad, they're like, all right, let's just get it over with, which is, I think, the worst attitude to have. So it was good that they didn't do that, but I think for Dust 2, they need to come out, they need to win the first pistol, maybe get a couple gun rounds in, and then start to build momentum, because if they let that haunt them for the second map, it's going to be kind of a similar scoreline.
All right, well, we'll find out what's going to happen. But, guys, I want to give a shout out to thescoreesports.com. Go on, take out your phone, iOS or Android device. Check it out in the Google Play App Store. It is the best place for news and stats. Don't go anywhere. Second map going on between CLG and then, obviously, Renegades after this.